James Ernest with the Grueling Truth Radio Network. Today my guest is Jon Zimmer. Jon, you are currently racing with Dragon. How's that been treating you?
Yep. It was pretty good. It was a pretty big change for me as far as my things I've done in my career. I was with Team Gravedigger for about 5 years, which is really where I wanted to be when I started almost 18 years ago. But the Dragon team came to me with some ideas, and we decided to go there in the first part of January, and it's been awesome ever since. The truck is really fun, and it's really kind of crazy and off the wall, so it's a blast to drive, and it's really fun to see the kids with it.
So that was one of the things that appealed to you, was that you were able to kind of have more control or new direction with Dragon, I would guess?
In a sense, yeah. Being a Gravedigger driver, you become that because of your style.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's how you put it. Dennis kind of instilled all those years ago when he created Gravedigger that we're out there to drive 110% for our fans, and really I was allowed to take that same mentality into Dragon. So to be able to do that with a newer truck that's only been out a few years, but yet has such a cool and crazy truck, those two, my style and that truck, really do kind of fit.
Nice, that's good to hear. Yeah, because that was one of the things. I mean, obviously the history, the tradition behind Gravedigger is just so huge that it's wow. I mean, to be one of the 8 that are selected to get to be able to drive that, because you have 8 of those available.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I saw Gravedigger back in 1986, and I was a little kid. And just was in awe the way Dennis was and the way the truck was. And so when I got into the sport, that was really my dream. It was not necessarily a goal, but it was a dream to go there. And I had such a good career with a bunch of other different trucks that when I went there, it was definitely home for me.
Mm-hmm.
So making a switch was not necessarily hard. It was just different for me. But the cool thing is I still call home in Kildare, North Carolina, and I'm still super close with the Gravedigger team, so it's really just another truck with a crazy body that I can drive in the ground.
Nice. I was going to say, that is such a neat story. Just, I mean, how the entire family with them is involved with monster trucks. The Anderson.
The Anderson family. Dennis and Tom Mentz with Maximum Destruction, they really are what elevated our sport years ago to what it is now, which it's so just off the hook. I've been around long enough to see it really grow to what it is today, and Felder Entertainment has definitely pushed Monster Jam to a new level, and I'm proud to be a part of it. But if it wasn't for the Anderson and the Anderson family and people like Tom Mentz and all the veterans, it would have never got to what it is.
So you started doing crewing at 2000. When you progressed through there and all, who did you crew for? Who was your team? Who was your driver? That kind of thing. What did you learn off of them?
So I started with a team out of Pennsylvania, which was the Eradicator monster truck team.
Mm-hmm.
A guy named Andy Slifko, super nice guy, and it was actually through Dennis Anderson that he kind of helped me get into the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably a crew chief with him for like 4 years, and he was just crazy busy, with the monster truck, and then plus he also ran a business at home, so we were nonstop go. So I learned how to work fast, work hard, and he just one day out of the blue told me I was driving the truck, and I guess I did good because we built another one and ran 2 trucks for a few years, and I've always worked on my truck. I still do to this day. And I do have a great crew chief now being with the Dragon team, and he takes a lot of pressure off me as far as that. But just starting in what we call the independent world for me was, I think that's what makes me am today. It's just, you work constantly.
Excellent. Did you spend any time at Monster Jam U?
So I actually am one of the teachers there.
Oh, cool.
So I've been doing that now since it started. We used to do some small teaching And it was every so often maybe a new driver they were considering, and I was doing that. But then when they went full bore to what they call Monster Jam University, it was myself and Tom Nance that really did it for the first 3 years, just us two. And then now we have Charlie Falkin who also helps out with the teaching. And I actually truly love doing it. It's really neat to see the youth, go there and audition is what we call. And it's a lot of fun, the first time some of these people, even the ones that have some other form of motorsports background, that when they get into their trucks, some of them have, a little bit of an attitude, like, I can figure this out, and then they get in the truck and they realize, there's a different world.
Oh gosh, yeah, I can imagine. It's not just a simple, normal vehicle. I mean, just how huge and complicated something like that's got to be. Gosh.
Yeah, it's a blast teaching, and I've been able to see a lot of the students that Tom and I, took right from everything getting inside of a truck to now they're some of the best in our sport. So
excellent. Yeah, I was going to say 2 weeks ago I was supposed to interview one of the rookies this year, the alien driver. I'm bad with names.
Bernard, yeah.
Yeah.
Bernard, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately I missed that opportunity. But yeah, I was looking forward to asking him, like you said, about how the university works and all. But definitely, that sounds interesting how they go through the tryout process. Because he was Spider-Man, and then he became Spider-Man of that Marvel Live show, and then he got the opportunity to drive. So it sounds interesting.
Yeah, and Bernard's one of the best examples. He literally had no motorsports background whatsoever, and through all the training and how much time they really do spend in the truck, by the time they're actually sent to their very first event, they don't look like rookies. They can go out and drive the trucks, which, when I started, or when a lot of us older guys, I guess you'd say, which I'm not that old yet, but when we started, our practice was literally our first show. It was like, okay, go do it.
Wow. Yeah, so a nice world of difference. So yeah, that's good that they're giving him the experience first, because yeah, I can imagine it takes a while to get comfortable in one of those. So in 2005, you started driving. Which vehicle did you originally drive?
I actually drove. I say 2005 when I started, because in end of 2003, 2004, I drove just a couple different names where I just filled in and helped somebody out at a show that we were at. But so 2005 is when Andy Swiftco had built another truck, and it was called Backdraft. So I had the Backdraft name, and then I left there and went to a team called Sudden Impact Racing, which I was with them for 8 years, quite a long time with them, and I ran a truck called Shock Therapy, which is really, honestly, that truck is where my career took off as far as driving. I ended up making it to 2 World Finals and winning numerous Monster Jam awards, Extreme Air, and Save of the Year type awards. And we had always kind of joked, Dennis and I would, during all of that time when I would see him, and he would always say, you're coming to Team Gravedigger someday.
Oh, cool. And
it was our ongoing joke, because every time we would meet up against each other, it would be such a close race that I hate racing, that's what he always say. Mm-hmm. And so about just over 5 years ago, we finally got together. I had some career changing, or as far as team changing going on, and that's when we struck a deal, and I came to work for Monster Jam and moved to North Carolina, and that kind of the rest is history. I made a good home there, and switching to the Dragon truck now has been great. We really had an unbelievable year with it. Finished second in our point series it literally came down to the last freestyle event where Charlie Falkin had beat me with the Gravedigger truck, and he only got me by 2 points. So to have a year like that and go to the World Finals with the Dragon truck, it's been great.
Excellent. So tell us about the event. What is it? It's probably 3 shows, probably 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday this weekend in Columbus?
Yep, it's at the Ohio State University, and it's the first time I personally have ever got to run in this building, and I was just there at 5 o'clock this morning getting trucks out. And it's actually, for an arena, it's one of our bigger floors, we call it. It's called a double-lane hybrid is the new track. and it's really the high blare track is what we call it, and it has changed arenas 100% as far as the actual show. The show now is literally, it makes you feel like you're at the big stadiums due to the amount of air we can get now with the new style track.
Yeah, I agree with you. I saw a show at Paul Brown Stadium, which was just phenomenal because for the longest time I'd only seen them inside U.S. Bank Arena, and to see how much of a difference and how much air and how much the amount of maneuvers. Do you have the one that does the flips with your tour, or is that with one of the other tours?
No, so in the arenas we don't do backflips.
Don't do the backflips.
Like you see on TV, only because of the room. The backflip is it doesn't take a lot of room, but the backflip is violent with the truck, if that makes sense. So those are mainly you only see those at stadiums, just due to the room. But yeah, for me personally, I've done 16 backflips and landed 15 of them, so they're pretty tricky. The neat thing in the arena now is just what's so fun for us is we're so up close with these arenas to our fans, so it's a blast to walk a truck on the back wheels, do a walking wheelie, or do what we call stoppies. And now guys like Ryan Anderson have perfected things called moonwalks, which is basically doing an endo with a monster truck, and then he does a reverse wheelie. So you do all that, plus you can get the big air just like you see at stadiums.
Oh, cool. Do you still breathe fire, or is that only on special?
I do. The Dragon truck does breathe fire, but it depends on the building that we're in, honestly, as far as what we're allowed.
Cool. Well,
which really, as a guy that runs the Dragon, it gets to be a thing because the kids love the fire, and during the pit parties, they love. They notice that the front of it has a spot where it does breathe fire. They're always asking. So when I'm at a building that I can't blow the fire, I just feel terrible because the kids know it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've been watching the show on TV and they're like, "Oh, I want to see that in person." Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, cool. And then they get there and I can't do it, but it happens. Most of the time we can. So.
Are they having a pit party tomorrow before the show?
Yeah. So they'll have a pit party before the afternoon show. Usually starts around 10:30, I believe, or 11. And then they'll do an afternoon show. Then we'll do an evening show, a night show.
Excellent. Do they need any special tickets to get into that, or is it just if you just?
There probably is. I'm not 100% sure on this one, but usually there is a separate little pit party ticket or a VIP ticket you can purchase and get down there early with the drivers.
Sounds great, John. Appreciate your time coming on the show.